Good evening, and welcome back to Cooking Time with Eric.
Hi, and welcome to Cooking Time with Eric again. Today we have a good dinner planned for tonight, and it's going to be Thai shrimp with rice stick noodle. As per the title, I have a package of rice stick noodle as one of my ingredients tonight. It's simple. You basically have to boil water. Just open this up, throw this in the water for 10 seconds, stir it around until it's nice and loose, and then take it right out. You don't want to overcook it because then it'll turn into mush. For my shrimp, I've gone out and bought peeled and deveined shrimp. It's frozen, but it's easy to defrost and it's going to cook anyway, so it's pretty easy to cook. As for my sauce, I do have 2 containers of pad thai, just to make sure I have enough. Pad thai sauce is very inexpensive and it's very delicious. For my vegetables tonight, I have them all in this bowl right here, as you can see. I'm going to be using bean sprouts, carrots. I have a bit of bok choy in there. This is actually, I did put bok choy in there. It's from some other time. I have cucumber, as well as some Thai basil that I threw in there. That's all mixed around in there, and it's going to be ready to stir fry it once I get it going. Alright, well, thank you. We'll be back with the next step shortly. Alright folks, for the next step, as I will explain, I had taken my shrimp. It was 2 pounds of shrimp, so anywhere you can get 2 pounds of shrimp from at any store, any market or anything. I'd taken it, since it was frozen, I defrosted it a bit, just ran it through some water a couple times, rinsed it out, ran it through some water again, and you got it left in my bowl here. And I'm going to bring this stuff over this way, because I have my stove going for my wok. A wok is essentially a pan. It's kind of just like deep. It's a half circle. It's good for stir fry, so I'm going to use it. As my cameraman had caught earlier, the noodles were in the pot. I finished softening them up. Again, it only takes 10 seconds in boiling water to soften up the noodles. I put them back in a little bit of cold water so that they don't congeal and stick together. They will do that if you leave them out in the dry. Alright, and for your pan, you just got to get it nice and high. Don't want to keep it too high, you just want to get it nice and hot. Put it medium high, maybe low medium. Throw in some oil. Wait for it to get hot. You don't want to put too much oil because then it's just really oily. As you can see, if the smoke starts to rise, you're probably ready to go, but you want to coat your entire pan to make sure every surface in there is fairly non-stick. Otherwise, because of the nature of the pan, you're going to get stuck surfaces. So after that's ready, you go ahead and start throwing in the shrimp. Be careful what I did there. There's still water in my bowl, so that is very dangerous. Pretty easy job. Just take out all the water right here. And in case you do start a fire, I didn't, but in case you do start a fire, it is always a bad idea to throw water on a grease fire. Never. It's just going to make it worse. So consider that a Cooking Time with Eric safety tip. Then you got more water. There's water, it's fine. Just be very careful. Let that go. And begin to stir fry. You could use tongs or a spatula or anything. But very easily just kind of flip it. It is a little heavy, so if it is heavy, I recommend you use a tool. You probably didn't hear me while I was talking over the food, but as I said, it's better to just flip. It's really what the stir fry technique is all about. Don't be ashamed to use 2 hands, people. There, just kind of let it cook. You need to add more oil, just little by little. Don't want too much. So my pan was hot, but I guess it wasn't hot enough for the cold shrimp. Let it heat up, it's no problem. definitely what you want to hear is that sizzle going. You want that to be kind of constant. There. Bring over your pad thai sauce. Keep it handy for when you need it. And we'll be back with the next step, folks. Welcome back with the next step. As you can see, the shrimp aren't completely cooked, but they're mostly pinkish. And you don't want them to completely cook all the way in this next step because it's just going to continue to cook and cook and cook. So what you do next is you basically throw in all of your vegetables in, and that's going to bring the temperature down a bit because the vegetables are cold. So you throw that in, and I'm just going to use a spatula that I have on hand. Mix it around, make that nice and incorporated there. Mix it, mix it, mix it, mix it. Get it nice and even. Now the proportion of vegetables to shrimp here is widely different, but I like a lot of meat in my dishes. If you have more vegetables on hand, you can use more, no problem. I had made a different stir fry last week, so I don't have more snow peas, but that's okay. I'm just using whatever I have on hand. The only thing I did buy that has probably the right amounts, or enough amounts for a fair amount, a fairly sized dish, is the shrimp and the sauce. But vegetable wise, I'm using what I got. And then to that, simply add your sauce. You grab a spoon, folks. It's a little thick. Add your sauce in. Spread it around nice and even. Now the sauce, I didn't put any seasonings in my shrimp like salt or pepper or anything, but after reading the label on the sauce, it looks like it's got a fair amount of seasonings and flavor itself. So you're good to go with just this jar. If you do taste it and it does seem like you want a little bit extra flavor, feel free to add salt or pepper or chili powder or anything. As you see, one bottle was not enough for me, not to my taste anyway. I like my stuff to be very saucy. So, add the other one. And we'll be back with the next step, folks. And this is the finished product. You got it. Just your shrimp, your vegetables, and your noodles in a nice bowl there. And you serve it up and ready to eat.